Hey everybody, Johnny McGinn here. Greetings from Gary, Indiana. We are traveling right now on Interstate 80 and 94. Approaching Burr Street. Shoe fly, shoe. Alright, we still have 312 miles to go to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Roughly 5 hours and 23 minutes. It is cold and windy out there. Kind of got used to that warm weather. My heater on. Going straight, or are you going to merge? Take 294 around today. topic that I'd like to ask your opinion on something. You know, there's been a lot of talk on the internet about the imminent collapse of the financing collapse of the United States, or global financing collapse. A lot of people predict that it's going to be somewhere in November, right before the election or right after. Nothing new, right? It's not, we've heard it before over and over and over again. But you know, you gotta admit, one of these days, it's gonna be true. It's not a matter of will it happen, it's when it's gonna happen. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that we're racking the deficit more than the country makes. But whether you believe it or not, it's really besides the point. So just for the sake of conversation, that a lot of these so-called experts says that by November they're going to have another 2008 global financial meltdown again, and it's going to be somewhat 10 times worse than what it was in 2008. Now let's just say you firmly believe that. Chances are you're probably just like you and me and a lot of people that are in the same situation, paycheck to paycheck, not a whole lot going on, you know. What would you do? How would you prepare yourself? What would you stock on? You know, a lot of people say water. Well, since I live in Sheboygan, Lake Michigan is just a mile away from the house. I don't think water is really going to be that big of an issue in Wisconsin. We got more lakes and big lakes out here, Minnesota, Chicago, all around the Lake Michigan. So I don't think water is going to be an issue. Maybe some water filtration, maybe you should stock up on, right? What else would you do? Stock up on some food? And what kind of food? How much of it? And let's see. Personal security, firearms, flashlights. What else? You take all your money out of the bank, convert it into precious metal, because, well, if you put away paper somewhere in the house, paper money, it ain't gonna be worth nothing. So you buy yourself a little bit of gold, silver. Now, if you're like me, buy silver or gold with what? I got, you got nothing. But again, you have what, 6 months, 7 months before the collapse? So you've got a little bit of a time. Now let's use me for a guinea pig. I've got 2 vehicles in my house that are fully paid. I got the Toyota Sequoia and I got my Goldwing. Right now, I'm thinking. Now this has been playing in my head for a couple of days. I've been contemplating whether to sell them now and get ready. You know, use the money to stock up on supplies. But what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? You just lost 2 of your vehicles. You know, I guess it's the same scenario as every time there's a hurricane going. Like the Hurricane Sandy, I think it was in New York. People didn't really believe it because in the past, the hype about the past storms never materialized. You know, TV news people, they always tend to blow it up to get more viewers. And people kind of, when the real McCoy hits, they're unprepared. Just like the story of the little girl that shouted wolf too many times, you know? Again, how much would you spend? How much stock would you spend or stock up on your basement or whatever? And here's another thing. During a crisis like that, with a total meltdown, there's going to be a lot of bad people on the street looking for an easy ticket. There's going to be a lot of people that are unprepared and well armed, that they're going to want your stuff. And they're not going to ask you politely. Let's just think of the worst scenario. That people found out that you have your supplies and people want your stuff. How are you going to defend your home and your family? How many guns do you could you possibly need? And ammunitions and, you know, survival gears and whatever. Man, that scenario can go on and on and on and on. Biggest fear is that when it does happen, I'm not going to be around the house. I'll be somewhere in West Virginia or some other state. Jackie and AJ and my wife alone by themselves. And they don't like guns. It's funny because Jackie doesn't like guns, but she doesn't mind holding it. AJ, she wouldn't even touch it. I took my Glock 17 and put it on her lap. She refused to pick it up. You know what she did? She reached over the table, got a little magazine, you know, the reading magazine, and used that to scoop the pistol off of her lap. I don't know, I think she does that just to annoy me. And I've always thought, you know, I understand that you don't like guns, but you should at least learn how to use it. Especially with them, they're girls. My biggest problem with them is, you know, you tell them about this kind of scenario, they will not believe you. They'll look at me funny. They'll ridicule me for it. Yep, they're gonna call me crazy old dad. So what would you do? I can't imagine what the people in New York City would do. Out here in the Midwest, at least it's a little bit open. It's not so congested. If you needed to do a little hunting, of course that hunting is going to disappear within a week. Write your comment and share me your story. Once again, I also want to encourage you to send me your audio file about your stories, about your topic. Eric Smith has sent in his 3-minute voice file on Facebook, which I have yet to download and edit to the video. So if you want to find me on Facebook, it's JBG Travels. Message me and send me your audio file. Oh yeah, I can use it on the video. Alright, take care. Have a good and godly day, everybody. Peace.